Hello class. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about creating a new document and saving your files for turning in. Okay, so you can see I have the Adobe Illustrator program opened, and you can do that just by going to the Start menu and clicking on Adobe Illustrator. Okay, and that's if you have it downloaded. It's going to be a different method if you're working with the app. Okay, so once you have your Adobe Illustrator open, you're going to go File, New. Okay, so we're going to create a new document, and the first thing I want you to pay attention to is the units for the document. We are going to be working in inches all semester. When you first open and try to create a new document, it's probably going to be in points. We do not work in points because it's going to be a very, very different size than what I create. So make sure it says inches. We're going to create a document that's 8.5 in the width, and 11 in the height. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, this is what we would call a portrait orientation. You could switch it to a landscape if that was what you wanted, but here we're just going to do portrait. Art boards, I want you to think of that as sheets of paper, and right now we only need one sheet of paper, so we only need one artboard. Under advanced options, you want to make sure that you're in CMYK color, and this is the color mode that we use for printing. Okay, in an Illustrator, typically we work with CMYK. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Okay, so make sure that's on as well, and then we can go ahead and hit create. Okay, so when we hit create, you can see that we have a white area, and that's the artboard. So think of this as your piece of paper. Anything that you want to show should be on the paper, and anything that you want to just have, you know, hanging out on the side and not print would be over on this gray area, and that's called the scratch area. Okay, all right. So when you create a new document, it's going to open, and at first it's going to say Untitled. So to save, we would go File, Save As, and then we would go in, and what I would suggest is, I'm going to show you what I've done, is I've created a file called 296 Fall 2020, and I suggest you do that. I suggest you do it on your hard drive and also on your flash drive. Now, if you're borrowing a computer, then you probably just want to put it on your flash drive, but do make a file folder just for 296 Fall 20. Inside of that, I want you to make 4 other folders: exercises, instructions, pictures, and swatches. Okay, exercises is where you will save what you're working on to turn into me. Instructions is where you can download some of my written instructions if you would like to have a copy of them, and you can save them there. And then you have pictures. So any pictures that you're going to use throughout the semester, always, always, always save them in your pictures folder, because you know, sometimes people think, well, I'm just going to copy and paste it in. But the problem is there's so many times that my students have had to go back and find the picture again, and then they can't find it. So save the pictures in your pictures folder. You can always delete it later. And swatches is where you save different swatches that you collected that you want as, you know, your inspiration for color, or maybe you want to use it as a fabric in a garment. So that's what we use swatches for. Don't worry about videos. That's just for me because I'm the one videotaping. Okay, this is the format that I want you to use. So for example, if we went into exercises, I want you to use this format. I want you to put your last name, first initial, and then we would call the file whatever it is. The first one's going to be creating basic shapes. Okay, now you do not need to do this because we're not quite ready to create the file, but I'm just showing you how to go about creating the file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And don't change anything in the Illustrator options. Go ahead and hit OK. And I want you to notice that the tab now says Poteet C Creating Basic Shapes. So yours would say your last name, your first initial, and then Creating Basic Shapes. Okay, so that is how you save a file. Now, when you turn your files into me, I want you to turn in a PDF. So you're going to save your work all along as an AI or Adobe Illustrator, and you can see that is the extension that you see right here. You see that .ai? That's the extension for Adobe Illustrator. To turn in your work, I request a PDF. File, Save As, and where it says Adobe Illustrator, just go ahead and click there, choose PDF, and save. Okay, now you're going to have a window that opens. Don't change anything. Later in the semester, I'll teach you how to make it so people cannot edit your files, but for right now, it's okay. Just go ahead and hit Save PDF. Okay, when you get ready to turn in your documents to me, you're going to go to the website. Okay, so you're going to go to Canvas website, you're going to go into modules. Now I have it in student view because I want you to see the way it's going to look to you. So you're going to go to the assignment, and you can tell the difference from the little thumbnails here. This tells you there's a link to a video. This tells you it's a file, a link to a video. This tells you it's a link. This tells you it's an assignment. Notice it tells you the date it's due and the amount of points. So you click on that, and then you hit Submit Assignment. Okay, and then you just go choose File, and I would go into, oh, I said 296, didn't I? I'm sorry, I teach another class at another school, so it's 428 for you guys. But anyways, go into that file, find the file, and then upload it, okay? And then after you upload it, absolutely make sure it's there. You can click on it to open it and look at it, but do make sure that you turn it in by the due date, by the time that it's listed. Don't wait till 11:58 because anything can go wrong. Turn it in early, okay? So I hope that helps to see, how you get started with, creating your documents, and also how to save your files and turn them in.